In the era of big data, you can with one step reach any information you want. And because of technological advancement, you can transfer $1 million from your account to anyone else's account also with one step. You can book a flight to anywhere in the world or make a decision that changes the course of your life. Your life has become short steps away from anything you want to do. But with one step, you could end your life. The step that will give you the dividing line between North Korea and South Korea. Prepare a cup of tea, paper, and a pen, and let's start the story from before Korea became divided. I am Ahmed Salama, just like the book says in World War I and II. The number of victims reached more than 100 million people, not including the destruction and devastation. Logical results. The two wars were among the most extreme and fierce in human history. But the question is, are world wars the only ones where millions die? Not at all, my friend. Because from 1950 to 1953, about 5 million people died in the war between North and South Korea. A war between two countries that were originally one country, but were divided by external forces, splitting their interests and disagreeing on everything to the extent that they disagreed on its name. And it was called the Forgotten War. A war ignited by America and Russia, and after turning it into a blaze, they left it in its ruin. During the Cold War, the details of the story go back to 1910 when Japanese occupation of Korea began, which ended with the end of World War II in 1945. This was after Soviet leader Stalin promised America that he would remove the Japanese from Korea, on the condition that he be allowed to move freely within China. And indeed, my friend, Stalin's promise was a debt, and Japan made a log out, and America and the Soviet Union divided the legacy between them, turning Korea into a football field divided into two halves by the center line. And let's call it the 38th parallel. Remember it well, the northern half under Soviet control and the southern half under American control. Korea was divided into two parts, the North and the South, with a commission from the governments of both halves to rule for 5 years with the aim of granting Korea its independence. The Korean people felt that the Japanese era was divided into two. Why? And what was the purpose of this division? The people objected, and America called for early elections. Then Russia said, "How can we ensure they are fair and not rigged? Don't count on me. I'm not coming." So, the elections were held only in the southern half, and 3 months later, they were held in the northern half. Thus, the division became a reality, and the 38th parallel was no longer an imaginary line separating American and Russian spheres of influence. It became a real boundary between two new countries in the world. Exactly. The country in the south was ruled by Syngman Rhee, with its capital in Seoul, and the country in the north was led by Kim Il-sung, with its capital in Pyongyang. In 1948, Russia withdrew, and a year later America followed suit, but implicitly, the two peoples knew that those living in the north were under Soviet and communist rule, and those living in the south were under American and capitalist rule.